I really should be exercising and I hate exercise. It's like one of the things I would rather poke a needle in my eye than exercise.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
But
anyone have needles? No, just kidding.
The views and opinions expressed by our guests are their own and do not reflect the views, positions, or endorsements of the Skittle Squad podcast or its hosts.
Welcome to a brand new episode of the Skittle Squad podcast. My name is David Smith, and I'm here with my fantastic co-host.
I'm Paul Piper.
Hey, Paul, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Awesome.
We have had a pretty busy day.
For sure.
We are at the Hard Rock. I'm like,
Did you
where
forget
are
where you
we?
were at?
I was going to say we're at the Tampa Casino Hard Rock. But anyway, we're at the Hard Rock Casino here in Tampa.
Shout out to the Hard Rock.
Shout out to the LGBT Chamber. They had
shout out
an
to the
amazing luncheon
Chamber.
today. We filmed with some amazing guests.
We did. Yep.
I think we should take maybe the next 5 or 10 minutes to really chat about hot topics.
Okay, let's do hot topics.
I've seen recently on social media, there's this new trend where people are saying they'll be in the middle of a conversation with a group of people, or they'll be having a conversation with someone and their social battery just dies.
Oh.
And then they go mute. Does that ever happen to you?
Yes, that happens to me all the time.
So what do you do in those type of situations?
I don't know, because I can't drink Alani's anymore. So I don't know. It's really tough because I'm one of those people, like, especially when you're working in a corporate environment like you and I both work in.
Right.
And at the end of the day, it's like you're so drained
sometimes
from an energy perspective that all
sure.
you want to do is just decompress. Like, you don't want to like go out or do a dinner or do an event. And sometimes you have to force yourself to do it because, you know, if it's an event that we're doing for the show, I just have to suck it up and just do it.
Yeah.
I don't know how these people get their energy. Like, you know, Jason Fields and Gabe and Rob and
Right.
all those guys that are always doing something, event after event after event, multiple events per day.
Right.
Like, I don't know how they do it because I would be dead. There'd be
Yeah. I think some people are, really extroverts.
Yeah.
And they get their energy from those
socializing.
interactions.
Yeah.
Now, what would you classify yourself as? Are you in the middle?
So there's
or?
a term called ambivert. Have you ever heard of that? Where you're kind of part introvert, part extrovert, depending on what the situation is.
That makes sense. Yeah.
I think I'm that.
Okay.
Because there are instances where I'm more introverted, and then there's instances, I can't talk today, when I'm more extroverted. Okay. Like today, I feel like I was more extroverted
Yes.
than I typically am.
Right.
In these type of situations. And
Well, we were in a heavy networking day.
Yeah. So it was like, okay, you got to be extroverted today. So
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people can relate to that because I think there's a lot of people that fall on that spectrum where, in some situations they're very introverted. In some situations they're very extroverted.
Right.
I tend to be more introverted if I'm around a group of people that I don't know
Okay.
as well,
Right.
because I get kind of shy.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But if it's a group of people that I hang out with on a regular basis, then yeah,
You're more extrovert.
more extroverted because I'm more comfortable with them. So
yeah, I've noticed recently I seem to have this like unusual pattern where I'm like super extroverted, getting all of my energy from all those social interactions, and then my body is just like, okay, you're done now.
right.
And then I have to do like a full day of a recharge.
Yeah.
And literally just self-care, not really go on social media, not really like text or be on the phone much, and then kind of do the recharge.
Yeah.
So I think for me, I would love to be able to maybe find a little bit better of a balance.
Yeah.
Instead of like, go, go, go. And then it's like, stop.
I think it's really hard for people in our situation because we do have a 9-to-5
Right.
job that both of our careers are very demanding.
Yes.
And this is it's like a second job.
It's
for
a
both of
second
us.
career.
Yeah. So, not that I'm griping about it or anything, because I love doing the podcast and I love doing the show. But it does. It is another full-time job. So it is very draining and you're constantly going. So
We're so lucky to be in the community and to do all of these amazing things, like be a sponsor for the LGBT Chamber Lunch today. We were a media sponsor, and so many other things with Winter Pride, being a Ruby sponsor for them.
yeah.
When I get tired and I think about, wow, I just don't want to go to that event, or I just need a recharge, I really think about how important the show is to amplifying the voice in the community.
Yeah.
And so that is probably part of where I pull that extra energy from. Right now, we're in such a unusual time where we're hearing businesses pulling support back from the LGBT community, pulling support back from DEI initiatives.
Right.
And so that really invigorates me to push harder.
Yeah, it does. It's also, I mean, for me, and I know you feel the same way because you're on the opposite side of the bridge, but it's extra effort for me to go to an event in St. Pete.
Sure.
Just like it's extra for you to go
Right.
to a Tampa event.
Yes.
Because we're dealing with the traffic and all the other stuff
Like
that's going on.
rush hour traffic sometimes.
Right. So that makes it a little bit more challenging. But I do feel, like you said, there are some events where you're like, we really need to go because it's good for the show, versus this is an optional thing that, it's going to be okay if I,
for sure.
don't go to that.
Yeah, definitely.
So I do want to say, like, I'm going to change the subject, like, really quick.
Yeah, of course.
So I've been looking at Shakira's dress, like, the whole time that we've been here today. And I'm like, that would be a good outfit for Holiday.
Oh, that would be a good outfit for Holiday.
Like the next Holiday performance. Like, could I
Yes.
borrow that Shakira gown?
Well, we do have a lot of friends at the Hard Rock. Maybe they would let you borrow it. I don't know. And I mean, you look so, what's the right word? Svelte?
Well, I don't think I'd fit in that.
But you may have to lose a couple more pounds for that
Right.
dress.
Right. This is why I need the personal trainer.
Yes.
And why we need to do
For sure.
the new segment, Paul Gets Physical.
Oh, is that what it's going to be called?
Yeah, it's gonna
Paul
be called
Gets Physical?
Paul Gets Physical. Yes.
Is that a takeoff of the Let's Get Physical? Like,
Kind of.
let's get
Yeah,
physical.
kind of.
Physical. Is that Jane Fonda that did that? Wait,
No, Olivia Newton-John.
Olivia Newton-John. But Jane Fonda, she was also big.
She was a
in-
fitness guru.
Yeah,
yes.
she was a fitness guru.
Yes, for
yeah.
a while there in
Yeah.
the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, I would support you for sure through that fitness journey, and I'm really excited to see that. So, are you able to on air commit to the audience that you're going to do this?
Oh, I'm going to do a series of segments on this because I think
fun.
it's going to be hilarious because I'm totally out of shape. So it's going to be a lot of, it's one of those things where you're kind of poking fun of yourself because I know that I really should be exercising and I hate exercise. It's like one of the things I would rather poke a needle in my eye than exercise.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
But-
Anyone have needles? No, just kidding. Well, here's the thing. So, is there any physical activities, like anything that you enjoy? Like
No. Bowling. Bowling. I like bowling.
And I will say bowling is definitely physical for sure.
Yeah.
Are you okay that I won the bet the last time we bowled together?
Oh my God. So this is a funny story because I don't think we've ever told this on the show.
Probably not.
But the last time that David and I went bowling, we went with a group of friends and we made a bet that whoever won had to pay $100.
Right.
So I was killing him all until about the 7th or 8th frame of the game. And then I totally choked. And then David ended up winning. And I think, didn't we do a double or nothing?
You wouldn't do that with me.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, I thought it cost me more than $100, but
No, it was
maybe-
$100
No,
even.
it was $100. Okay. So I hope you spent that $100 like wisely.
Well, you know how it is with the show and with us doing all these things. I feel like you gave me the 100, but then it like came out in the wash. Like I can't remember what happened, but it was just like, whatever. It was fun. But it was fun. It was a fun contest for sure.
Yeah, it was. It was. So
And I think there might have been somebody that might have got a little more angry about you giving me the $100 than yourself.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, potentially. But it was a really fun competition.
Yeah, it
so
was a fun
maybe we should
competition.
would you be up for another bowling competition?
Yeah, because I'm actually going bowling on Saturday.
Oh, fun.
There is an
Okay.
event with the LGBT Democratic Caucus
Oh, okay.
where
So you're going to practice.
they're doing bowling.
You're going to practice on me.
They're doing a bowling event with some of the candidates that are running
cool.
in Florida.
Okay.
So so I'll be there on Saturday.
So you're actually bowling?
Yes,
Oh,
Esme
fun.
Russell is
Okay.
actually hosting
Oh, fun.
the
Okay.
event. So she's going to be there performing. So I'm excited to see Esme.
Yeah, we love Esme.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
great.
So yeah, I'll be doing that on Saturday. So
Well, let me know what your scores are.
I will.
Yes, we definitely need to do another bowling
But that's the only. I mean,
competition.
that's the only thing I hate all other exercise. I like. It's just I'd rather be doing something else.
What about maybe hiking in the mountains?
See, I can do that.
Okay, you would do stuff like that.
Because we did that in Alaska. We did that.
Yeah, I feel like when you guys went out to California,
Yeah,
you
we did that in California.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
So-
can do that. That's
Yeah.
not. But where is there to hike in Florida? I mean, really.
No, not here. I mean, there's no mountains in Florida.
Right.
Yeah, you could go hiking through the Everglades, but that would be
No.
no fun. I would recommend for the Everglades just going to airboat.
I don't even think I would do that.
Oh, when I used to live in Miami, I would take people to the Everglades and do
Really?
airboat rides all of the time.
Did you ever see any gators?
Oh, I have a story for the next episode on that. So stay tuned for the next episode.
We need to know that story.
Where I will tell the story about how the alligator, scared the living bejesus out of me on this airboat ride. All right, stick around for our next exciting guest, and we'll see you in just a moment.
Bye.
Like, follow, and subscribe to the Skittle Squad podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and all social media platforms.
We are excited to be at the LGBT Chamber Luncheon today here at the Hard Rock Cafe in Tampa, Florida. And our guest today is Jon Harris Maurer. Jon, welcome.
Hey.
Thank you so much.
So you are from Equality, Florida. You are public policy director, according to your badge that I just read. But really, really interesting time, and really, really appreciate you chatting with us today because you are working with the Florida legislature as far as making sure that these anti-DEI, anti-LGBTQ laws are not going to pass through into law. Maybe if you could talk a little bit about your work this year, because you've really done a lot. You were able to save a lot of legislation from going through, and then there was that one initiative that went through that I know you're currently working on. So maybe we could chat a little bit about your work, your role in that. And
Absolutely. For those who, Skittle Squad listeners who are not familiar with Equality Florida, we're the state's biggest civil rights organization focused on securing full equality for the LGBTQ community. And for now nearly 30 years, we've been doing that primarily in the state capitol with some local and federal work as well. But for my role in particular, I'm part of our public policy team that are really the sort of frontline lobbyists in Tallahassee on these LGBTQ issues. So this session, there were a slew of bad bills that we were fighting, 5 in particular anti-LGBTQ bills. Proud to say that we stopped 4 of those. The one that did pass is this anti-diversity in local government law. And it's actually one that we have fought against now for 2 years. So while it did pass, we've been able to reduce a lot of the harms, securing some really important sort of carve-outs and exemptions. By our count, I mean, dozens of those provisions that still do allow for local governments to show up for their communities and do a lot of this important work that goes to these ideas of diversity, equity, and inclusion.
wow. So are you in Tallahassee, at the state capitol every day, or like what does your day-to-day look like to fight and to kind of, prohibit this legislation from going through?
I am. I'm from Fort Lauderdale originally, went to Tallahassee for law school, and my now husband and I both thought we would be gone the weekend of graduation. That was 16 years ago. So hasn't worked out in that way as planned. But yes, literally in Tallahassee, 3 blocks from the Capitol to keep an eye on everything going on there. And I love it. It is clearly a really challenging state to be doing LGBTQ advocacy work, but we have a phenomenal team, and it's really work that needs to be done. We have tremendous volunteers and advocates who show up with us in Tallahassee, and they're really such an important part of what keeps us going and keeps us in the fight.
When we think about the LGBT chamber and the businesses that are involved with the chamber and then Equality Florida, how do you see those two organizations working together, and how can they kind of raise the synergy in the community?
The business community is a really important part of our coalition. And at times we've had a really robust coalition of businesses that are showing up and helping us drive home the message of why LGBTQ equality and inclusion is so important. We hear it from business leaders all the time. They say, for us, it is about being able to attract and retain top talent. And we do that by creating atmospheres that are welcoming and that are culturally competent. And so when you have the legislature, in particular in recent years, coming in and I think sort of overreaching into the private sector and trying to tell businesses, what they can do in terms of cultural competency trainings, or even police water cooler conversations about what pronouns can you use. We're seeing the business community really push back at times and say, this is not what we want from our legislature. We want to be able to do what we think is best for our bottom line, for our employees, for our business model. And this legislative interference is really a problem for the community.
Yeah.
I think we were chatting a little bit earlier. You were chatting with Renee on stage, doing like kind of a fireside chat, really talking about the economic impact that these amazing pride celebrations, these events, even really thinking about the luncheon today and the economic value that it puts back into the community. How are state, local, county governments getting awareness to the impact that we're providing, like as far as that goes?
Yeah, we have phenomenal events. We named St. Pete Pride that has a $67 million economic impact for the community. Yeah, really staggering figures. And so when we're talking to policymakers about why these things are important, it is not all just the side of doing what's right by your community. And I wish that always carried the day.
Right.
But those economic arguments are really important too, and making sure that our lawmakers understand the impacts that some of this legislation have. Even down to things like, I'll say, my physician, who is also our daughter's pediatrician, left the state because of anti-LGBTQ regulation and no longer feeling comfortable practicing medicine in this state. And so what they're doing in the Capitol has these really important impacts on everyday citizens, on our businesses, and on bottom lines. And so if they don't do it just because they care about how it is impacting community members, sometimes we have to bring in that business voice to say, here's the economic hardship that you're also imposing.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, one of the questions that I have for you is that a lot of people feel discouraged right now because of everything that's going on in the state of Florida. They love Florida. It's a great place to live, but they're discouraged because of all the anti-LGBTQ legislation that's coming through. What advice would you give to someone if they came to you and said, I'm feeling really discouraged right now? What kind of advice or words of hope would you be able to give?
I would tell people first that I understand that fear and concern and how heavy it is. And there are communities that are impacted differently, right? We've seen just how much has been put on the trans community and our non-binary community. But I think getting engaged is a great way to push back. And in my role, now having been the public policy director for 8 years, I've often got the question of how do you, de-stress from it or unwind or deal with all the toxicity in the Capitol? And I feel like I haven't had a great answer for that. And I think I more recently realized actually my work is how I deal with the toxicity and hardship that I see happening everywhere else. And there's so much that is outside of our control. I love my job and the fact that I feel like I get to actually play an active role in this. And you don't have to be an attorney or a public policy director of an organization to do that. We have our Pride at the Capitol program that brings citizens from around the state to be sort of grassroots activists to the Capitol. You don't need any training in advance, that we have plenty of those training opportunities to make people feel comfortable. But every year we see, hundreds of Floridians come to participate, and they always leave feeling, I think, really inspired and motivated by the process. And it's truly one of the things that gives me the most joy in my job. I can think about an example from a few years ago. We had an advocate living with HIV when we were working on some HIV criminalization legislation that we've done for a long time. And this individual thought that they were exposing themselves to arrest by disclosing their status to lawmakers.
Wow.
And to their credit, they still showed up at the Capitol like they were ready to do it. But at some point during our training, and there's a half day of training, so people are well prepared, they were in tears just thinking about what risk they thought they were taking. So obviously we had a chance to pull them aside, work through that. And by the end of the second day, that same person who had been in tears thinking about talking to lawmakers the day before was walking the halls asking about who was hiring, because they were so excited about the process. They wanted to, become a staff member, be part of it. And so I love that. It is one of the most rewarding parts of my job. And so it is really hard out there. And for those who are comfortable with it, I think getting involved and sort of being part of that resistance can be really empowering.
Yeah, I agree. And I think a lot of things, people need to get engaged for sure. Support their LGBTQ businesses, support the Pride events, support organizations like Equality Florida, support LGBTQ media like the Skittle Squad podcast, because that makes us more visible and that gives us more of a presence. We're not going to go anywhere. So, we are here and we will always be here. And I think the more that people participate and actually engage, I think is great for all of us, right?
Yeah, and it's really accessible at any scale. If you can get up to Tallahassee and do lobby days, that's tremendous. Also, being from South Florida, I know how hard it is to get to Tallahassee. I think they put it somewhere far away on purpose.
Right.
Look, if what is doable for you is just posting an article on social media to do some public education or show support or whatever, that's a perfectly great point of entry too. So wherever folks are sort of feeling comfortable, but that visibility, joining the conversation in ways that feel, reasonable and safe for folks, I think are just tremendously valuable.
We recently had Preston Scott on from Equality Florida, and it was really great kind of hearing from him about all the services that Equality Florida offers. It's impactful. It's amazing. And I was just really just full of gratitude hearing about Equality Florida. So I'm so happy to be able to have you on today to just bring some more exposure to Equality Florida. If folks want to get involved, how would they do that?
Finding us online, just eqfl.org or social media is a great way to find some of the opportunities we have for volunteering. We have a phenomenal field staff that is built out around the state with a lot of opportunities. Obviously coming to Tallahassee is great, but really year round, even just to be in community, we in most markets have basically quarterly events that folks can show up to. It is an opportunity to learn a little bit about what's going on, learn more about Equality Florida. And, for pockets of the state where there's not as much infrastructure as there is in Tampa, I mean, how fortunate to be here. It can be a real source of community. It's actually one of the things that I think helped keep us in Tallahassee, like I was mentioning when we first decided to stay there. My now husband and I said, one of the real drawbacks here is that there's not a visible, cohesive community. And we figured we could either keep complaining about it or we could do something. So we started volunteering with Equality Florida. And that,
Amazing.
and on a long scale, ended up with me in this chair and where I've gotten to today. But yeah, I think that sort of engagement is always a great opportunity. We'd love to see more folks turn out.
Thank you so much for being on today. Paul, any other final questions from you?
No, I'm good on my end. But if you'd like to be a guest on the Skittle Squad podcast or you'd like to be a sponsor of the show, you can reach us at contact@theskittlesquad.com.
We know you have to drive back to Tallahassee this afternoon, so we really appreciate the few minutes you spent with us today. Thank
Absolutely.
you so much.
Thank you for the invitation.
If you can please just follow us on our socials, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Share with your family and friends. It makes a big difference, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.